Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at transits and how they affect you and the lines on your hands and also your birth chart. So let me explain what a transit is real quick. If you look in the night sky, you'll notice every day the stars and the planets move in orbit. Essentially, when Jupiter goes from this point in the night sky to that point, that is a transit because it's moved. So this is one of the more dynamic ways of making predictions for people using palmistry and also in astrology. Because whenever a planet moves, especially from one zodiac sign to another, what it does is it changes its influence on a person. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. And we're going to be looking at birth charts, we're going to be having a look at a couple hands here as well, and essentially show to you guys the fact that palmistry and astrology really are the same thing. And here's our first example. So over here, in this birth chart, we've got Jupiter in the sign of Leo. Now, if you don't know how to read a North Indian birth chart, got a video on that in the description section below, but that 5 over there, that doesn't mean the 5th house, that means Leo, because Leo is the 5th zodiac sign. Jupiter is sitting in the 10th house over here. So when Jupiter travels from the 9th house into the 10th house, that means it's going to give its influence in the 10th house over here, in the sign of Leo. So just putting 2 and 2 together here to make a very simple prediction for someone, we know the 10th house represents your career, and we know that Jupiter brings progress and advancement everywhere it goes. So putting those two statements together, we can say that when Jupiter transits into your 10th house, it's going to give you either a job promotion or a raise. So for the sake of this simple example, we don't need to look at other planets that may be in this sign or other aspects or things like that. The very fact that Jupiter is entering this house will result in a positive effect on this person's career. Now let's have a look at an example of a transit using only the hands. Now this is a picture of a native who had just turned 33 years old when Saturn entered Scorpio. And this is a zoomed in image of a Scorpio phalange, the middle phalange of the pinky finger. And these are the important degrees that we could find over here with the horizontal lines. Now remember, a horizontal line is malefic energy, so that's something bad happening here. So when Saturn does enter into this sign, we know that some bad events are going to take place. And because this line in the middle of the hand is a line for Saturn and it breaks, then we know that something bad is going to happen to this person's career. So let's have a look at this and see if we can make some predictions, because we can see a horizontal line here at 0 degrees. We got another one here at 12 degrees Scorpio, and then another one at 16 degrees Scorpio. So just these 3 lines alone should tell us when Saturn does go through Scorpio that 3 negative events are going to take place in this person's career. There are some vertical lines here too, but we're not going to get into those for the sake of this example. So just to give you guys an indication on timing, Saturn is a very slow moving planet. It's the outermost of the Indian Navgraha system, and therefore it's the slowest. So the time it takes for Saturn to go from 0 degrees to about 12 degrees, that's about 1 year. And then it takes probably another 4 months for it to travel from 12 degrees to 16 degrees. So over a 16-month period, we can see 3 negative events that are supposed to take place on this person's career. So let me tell you what actually happened here. This native lost her job when Saturn entered Scorpio, and that was just before her birthday. She struggled to find a new job for 3 months, but when she did, she was once again made redundant a year later. So we can see a new job coming around because of those vertical lines, and we can see her being made redundant because of that horizontal line at 12 degrees Scorpio. And so after that, she again had trouble finding work, so she had to accept a job that put her on probation for a period of 3 months before employing her. And here again we can see the effect of Saturn on her career when it was at 16 degrees Scorpio, and that there were 3 different career problems that she faced during this 2 to 3 year period. She lost her job, then she had trouble finding a job, then she was on probation for a couple months, and then she actually got her full-time job. So from this example, we can see the effect of Saturn's transit on Scorpio and the way it works on the hand. So we can gauge with more accuracy in terms of timing than other traditional schools of palmistry. So other systems of palmistry would tell us that this native would lose a job at the age of 33 and struggle to find stable employment until the age of 35. And whilst this is correct, by adding a working knowledge of astropalmistry, we're able to fine-tune the timing of these events. and even make predictions on the events that had happened between 33 and 35. Now let's have a look at another example, but this time we're going to use a birth chart and also the palm of a person's hand to show you that both give the same information and that either can be used to apply the techniques over here. So this is a hand of a native who's born on the 23rd of July 1967, and his age was 50 when this image was taken. And at this time Saturn was transiting Scorpio, that's his 10th house. Now looking at his hand, we can see that at the age of 50 this native Saturn line becomes weak. So from this we can conclude that he's going to have career problems at this age. And seeing this birth chart and also the fact that Saturn is entering into his 10th house that rules career. So from both the birth chart and the palm we can make the same prediction, that this native's career will be stifled at the age of 50. And what happened with this native is that he developed prostate cancer at this time and had to stop working in order to focus on his health. Now note that Scorpio rules the genitals, and so Saturn's entry into this sign, it's going to bring up illnesses in this part of the body, especially for natives holding on to negative energy. And that, guys, is how simple it is to track transits using just the lines on the hands. You can use the zodiac system on a birth chart, the zodiac system on the fingers, or also the major lines on the hand. All three give the exact same information. Now if you have any questions on this, put them in the comment section below. Otherwise hit subscribe and we'll give you more video tutorials on Valmiki's Astropalmistry system. Thank you.